Hi everyone. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week here. I do have a funny story to kind of tell you to start this whole thing off, my whole mind dumping that's been going on currently in the jungle, well, in the woods, or at the park. So I got off early today. I had a half day at work, right? Given that, I didn't bring a lunch because I was just going to eat after work. And on my way home, my new routine, so to speak, is coming to the park and then going home. And everything inside of me was, one, hungry, physically hungry. I wanted something to eat. But mentally, my mind, being the power hungry person that it is, wanted to not do so. Wanted to go to the park first, do this whole mind dump video thing that I've been doing, and then eat. Because the idea of eating, going home, eating, and then coming back out seemed ridiculous to my mind. So I had this whole argument with myself in the car, mind you, because my intuition, the voice that I need to listen to, is telling me, hey, pick something up to eat or go home and cook something, and then you can come out to the park. You have all day, honestly, because again, I worked a half a day. I don't need to rush this whole process. I don't need to rush eating or rush coming to the park and then going home and eating. I didn't need to do any of that. But my mind was arguing with me on this whole thing because it seemed like a tedious task for my mind. Mind you, earlier this week, as I've been doing these videos, I've been coming straight from work and then going home. So it's something that's on the way. But again, it's a park that's 10 minutes away from my home. It's not like it's an hour away. It's not as if it's this big struggle to get here to do this. It isn't. But to my mind, it lives in survival mode. It's constantly thinking of convenience and safety. That's all it's thinking of. What is convenient? And convenient to my mind is going to the park, doing your little video, your mind dumping stuff, relating to people, whatever you're doing, and then going home and enjoying a nice meal, relaxing, and then you get to stay home. That is the process that my mind was arguing with me. My intuition was saying, go home or pick something up to eat, go home, enjoy it, eat, and then come to the park and take your time and be with nature, with the little bit of rain that's going on right now, and just mind dump and alleviate some of that stress or whatever that's going on in your head. Now I know this whole argument, if your mind doesn't work similar or any way like mine, this may seem like a ridiculous argument to have with yourself. But it's something that happens. It's something that happens because of how my mind sees things as being tedious or in the way of, unproductive, so to speak, and going home first and then coming here seems unproductive because this park is on my way home from work. It's not like it's a big, it's past my home, so I can stop home and then go. No, I would have to go home and then come back. And that's, it's inconvenient. It's unproductive. It makes no sense. To be my brain, I have to tell you, it's quite an adventure. An adventure that I took on. But I understand it. I understand that it works with convenience. It works with safety. It works with productivity because it's constantly thinking of, well, how can we do this better? What actually makes sense? It doesn't think of just being. It's constantly on a schedule, on a routine, on a list. And that's the way it's functioning. My shoes are all dirty. Anyway, and doing this, having this whole argument is just a prime example of my mind having power, or attempting to have power over me, and me deciding to listen to my intuition, because I swear I was very close, very, very close to listening to my mind and its obnoxious self, and just coming here while still hungry and uncomfortable and just making the video, just rushing it and doing whatever, and then going home and relaxing, as if I don't have all night to do so, as if the day has passed me by already, and it hasn't. Yet, I could have listened to the mind. I decided not to. I decided that this is the whole point of this process, of this journey, is listening to my intuition, not my mind. My mind has been lying to me. My mind is very afraid. It's scared. It's very critical and so forth, where my intuition knows it has no time. It has no pressure, no need to be anywhere. It simply is. And that's why it doesn't care. That's why it can do whatever. That's why it can say, you know what? We're going to eat first, and then we're going to come out, because we have all day. You're not looking at the big picture. My mind is very one-sided. It's very, what is that word? With blinders, focused. I can't think of the word I'm thinking of. But anyway, it's very closed off. Whereas your intuition is open. It sees the broader picture. It sees everything. It understands everything. And it's most likely present. The other thing that kind of happened last night, in the middle of the night, of course, I had woken up, and my mind has taken, or is trying to take over this whole experience that I'm doing right now. Because in the beginning it was fighting it. In the beginning it didn't want to come here. It didn't want to record a video. It didn't even want to post the video. In the beginning it didn't want any parts of this. But now that has become sort of a habit, that it deems it to be something safe and unharmful, it wants all parts of it. So now it's trying to come up with all these different creative ideas and topics that we can talk about on our little walks here. So it's constantly like giving me different ideas to talk about. It's kind of like when you try and start to exercise and say you're not good at exercising, or it's just never been a hobby of yours. So first day you go to the gym, you struggle mentally. You may be fighting yourself to get in the car to drive to the gym. You may be fighting yourself to get out of the car and to get into the gym and start working out. And that first day is a struggle mentally and physically for your body. But after like a week or so, you start to lose weight and you think you're doing awesome. Your mind kicks in and follows along, because it's like, oh, you know what? This isn't bad for you. This is actually good for you. You're seeing all these different benefits. You're healing. You're feeling better. You're feeling stronger. You're doing good. You're losing weight. You're all the good stuff. That's what I've been feeling as I've been coming here lately. And my mind is seeing that. So now it's like, hey, I want to take part. So if you're like in the gym, all of a sudden maybe you buy more workout clothes. That's your mind participating. Or you buy, weights for your home, or certain exercise equipment for your home. That's your mind participating. Your mind being a part of the journey now. And I feel like it's such a turn of events to see that. To see your mind fight something new, something different, something that they see in the beginning as maybe unsafe or dangerous, and then for it to turn around and be flipped to something cool, something it wants to be a part of, something it sees as healthy and inspirational and really good for you. So it wants to take part, and it does it in many different ways, depending on what it is that you're doing. For me, it's over here talking and mind dumping on you guys. And by doing that, it wants to add to that. It's like, hey, how about you talk about this topic? Or hey, how about you talk about that topic? Or hey, how about you bring this up? And then it'll keep rushing to the front of my brain and running in circles until I talk about that topic. It'll store it, it'll organize it, and it'll say to itself, this is actually good, this is actually something we can talk about. This is actually something that people may understand, because it wants to be a part of it. Your ego will take on anything that you try to do. It'll deny you in the beginning because it's looking out for your safety or your sense of self, what, they deem as maybe success or failure, whatever it is. So it may deny you and fight you in the beginning. And if you decide to go against it, if you decide to do it anyway, regardless of what your mind or your ego is saying, and then you start to reap benefits. Like you start to physically feel better, or you start to mentally, you're learning this new skill and it's amazing. You're doing well and you're feeling good. Then your mind's like, oh, wait a second. Okay, we can get into this. This isn't dangerous. This isn't bad. We can get into this. Okay, so let's do this now. Let's add to it. Wait. Let me do this. Or let me add here. Or let's try this. It's like going to the gym. So you go to the gym for a couple weeks. You think you got this new hobby or habit, that's within. So now you're buying all these gym clothes. You just spent $100 on gym clothes, a new pair of gym shoes, or workout shoes, running shoes, whatever. All this these weights for your home in case you can't make it to the gym, but you're still gonna work out because you know what? You're in it now. That's your mind. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because I guess it's okay for your mind to be on your team, on your side as you explore new things in your life. That's good. Your mind should be on your side even in the beginning, but it could fight you. That happens because it doesn't like change. Change, it could be scary, be threatening, whatever. So your mind starts to jump on your side, and this is where things can get tricky, because as my mind is now feeling safe in this environment, feeling safe in having these conversations and dumping all of this personal, vulnerable stuff, and not feeling judged or, like I'm putting myself in danger, like personality-wise or whatever. Now that it feels safe, now it wants to be part of this. But the danger part is listening to what your mind wants to do and listening to what your intuition wants to say. Now, it sounds cuckoo because it really sounds like you got split personalities and you need to be in the psych ward and whatever. And if that's what you think of me, it's a possibility. I can't deny or accept that information. But it's two different things. And many people know that your ego is different than your intuition. Everybody says, go with your intuition instead of what your mind is saying, or go with your heart instead of your brain. That's where the truth lies, is within your heart and not within your brain. Your brain is going to try and convince you to do else, or convince you that this is dangerous, or convince you that this person is a liar, or don't trust them, or whatever. But here that they're worth it, that they're someone you should trust, or so forth and so on. If you've been a human long enough, you can make the distinction between the two. That there's two. Maybe you can't make the distinction because it isn't always easy to make the distinction between the two. And that's what I'm working on is ignoring this and being here. Sorry, I thought I heard a truck or something. And being here, that's what I'm working on. And the hard part is, as my mind now sees this as a good thing, it may try and take over it. It may try and step in and only talk about what it wants to talk about. Or it starts to get critical and make sure that, I'm saying the right things, or I'm doing the right things, or this isn't what you should be doing, or whatever. It gets critical because it sees it as a safety. It's not trying to get me away from it anymore. It's not trying to get me to stop doing it anymore. No, now it's encouraging me. It's motivating me. It's inspiring me to continue because I've gotten or done so well and I've felt so much better. So it's encouraging me. But I can't allow it to take over. I have to stay with my intuition on it. I have to stay with what I want to do. So if I want to stop it, if I'm told or feel that I want to stop tomorrow, I don't want to do it anymore, or I want to stop it even today, later today, I'm like, you know what? This is it. I'm done. I'm not doing it anymore. That was a fun few days. I was able to just mind dump and do, clear out a lot of things within me, but I'm stopping. My intuition tells me to stop, then I have to. Because my mind is going to try and continue to reap the same reward. And our mind does that with everything. It's going to continue, regardless of what it is, to try and repeat the same reward. Because that's how it works. That's how it feels good. That's how it stays feeling good, by continuing to do the thing that makes it feel good. And if this is something that makes it feel good, then I may run into an argument with my mind, my heart, or my ego, and my intuition, where my intuition's like, go home, eat, and then if you want, you can come back. But you need to take care of this first, and then you can do that. Or my mind's going to say, no, go do this. This will definitely make you feel better, even though you're hungry right now. And then guess what? You can go home and then eat. Then you can get the physical benefit and energy from that. It's two parts of you that are constantly at a disarray. Not all the time, not constantly, but at most parts, it's at a disarray. And the challenge is stopping this or ignoring this and staying here, as many people try and do. And I have tried over and over again to do. I've tried to only stay here, and it hasn't always been, rewarding or even worked or whatever. And I've, lost myself in here many, many times before, and sometimes I still do. And I am trying in this moment, in these last couple of days, to stay here, to be here, to feel here, because this is what is true. And to not let this get in the way of this, which it might, because it already is starting, or get in the way of anything that seems to be rewarding, that seems to feel good, or the opposite, seems to feel dangerous, seems to feel unsafe, yet I know will be safe, for one, and probably rewarding. It can go either way. Your mind is wave-like. It has highs, it has lows. It's critical, it's rewarding, it's proud. It sees success, it sees failure. Mine is very black and white. There's some gray, but it's not that much gray. I wish it was more gray. That's about what's happening right now. That's my mind dump for the day. And my shoes are completely wrecked with mud. But it's a nice day. It's a little muggy and a little hot because of the rain, but I wanted to wear a jacket, obviously, so that I wouldn't get soaked with my hoodie. So I feel the heat now that the rain has passed. I'm dying. But I'm okay. I'm enjoying nature. I'm enjoying this. And this was nice. This was nice to get off my chest. And I appreciate you listening. Once again, if you've been listening and you've made it this far in the video, I appreciate you. I respect you. I have love for you. And I hope you have an amazing weekend. If I don't make videos over the weekend, so be it. It may or may not happen. If I make them next week, awesome. If I stop all together and this is the last video for another, say, 3 years, then this was fun. I'm not gonna harp on it. I'm not gonna let this interrupt this. So thank you again. See you guys.